Hello guys, welcome you all to my YouTube channel, and in this particular video let's talk about the coal crisis. How this coal crisis are going to be a really bad for our country, how it's going to impact many of the sectors, and what are the things which government should do, what are the steps which need to be taken. That is something we're going to discuss. So a complete detailed video on the coal crisis. You will completely get to know why the coal crisis happened, what are the issues which will take place because of the coal crisis, and what is the solution for that. Before starting this video, all the resources of this particular video has been given in the description, so check it out to get much more clarity. So first thing is why we are talking about the coal. That is something which is important to know. Why we are talking about the coal is something which is very much bad for the environment. It causes so much of the pollution, and it's something which, why we are talking about that. So the reason is quite simple, because 60 to 70% of the electricity you are using in your house is coming from the coal, and electricity is the most important resource in our life. Okay, we can't live without electricity in today's world. Okay, each and every gadget, each and every electronic item, everything is running from the electricity that is generated from the coal. Almost 70% of the need of India's electricity is basically satisfied by the coal. But you might be like, where the hell has gone the green energy, where the hell has gone the solar energy and other forms of energy? I want to tell you, there's a lot of promotion of this kind of things has been done. Obviously government also brought the PLI scheme for all these things. Definitely the changes will take place, but for at least next 5 to 10 years we will be dependent on the coal and many other petroleums for the electricity generation. That is the reality, and we can't basically deny that. And that is why understanding this particular topic becomes much more important, because it's about the electricity, and if there is no coal, then majority of the parts of the country there will be no electricity. So let us understand why the coal crisis has happened. So to understand this, let's go back to the March of 2020. What happened in the March of 2020? The COVID-19 outbreak. Not just in India, all countries across the world was suffering from the COVID-19 crisis. So lockdown happened during the March of 2020. Experts thought, many of the factories thought that this pandemic might stay for a while, and as a result of which the economic revival will not take place this fast. But economic revival took place very fast. The factories started opening, the lockdown got a little bit eased down, and factories started opening very much fast. Result of which the production of the coal was kind of stopped. The countries have stopped the supply of the coal. Also there was the international trade issues and many of the kind of issues which kind of reduced the production, at the same time the supply of the coal, and the demand of the coal was also less. But economic revival took place, as a result of which factories started opening, as a result of which many of the MSME small stores which was shut down opened very much fast, and the electricity consumption increased. But during that time the production was not that much, the supply was not that much, as a result of which many of the countries across the world started facing this particular problem. Also there is a second issue, is the consumption, increase in the consumption. Basically just look around yourself, you will find out because of the edtech, the increase in the consumption of the laptop, tablets, mobile has increased. The consumption of the AC, TV has increased a lot, and in household, people have good amount of money, people are either spending it or investing in the stock market. That's the only two things happening. People are not keeping it much in their saving account, because the household income is something which has increased a lot. Okay, India has kind of gone to the record household income. This much amount of household income has increased. I know unemployment increased, poverty increased, but many of the people who had the money or earning the money during the lockdown as well, they were not basically had anywhere to spend. The trips were cancelled, the kind of other spendings like restaurants spending were cancelled, many other kind of spendings were cancelled, as a result of which lots of spending was turned on the gadgets, on the mobiles and the electronic items, and this consumption increased exponentially, not just in India, across the world. And electricity, first of all, there was a less supply of the coal because of the wrong estimates, and the second is because of the demand increased in the market. So this is a complete simple in economics, the demand and supply thing. The demand increased so much and the supply is very much less, and even the production was also kind of stopped for a few months. So because of all these things, there is a demand and supply issue happening into the country, and many of the countries are facing the issue. Also there is a second problem which is kind of India centric. In September we kind of in September we recorded the good amount of rain. It was already estimated in the August only that a good amount of rain will take place in the September, and it estimation was very much correct. Good amount of rain took place in many parts of the country, as a result of which what happened, many of the coal mining firms were not able to do the work properly, as a result of which the domestic production of coal has also hit. So these are the 2 to 3 issues because of which the coal disruption has happened, the coal shortage has happened into the country. Now this is not just in India. A country like China has also has been facing this particular issue, but China has a good amount of money. Chinese economy is like 3 to 4 times bigger than India, and this is something we need to accept it. Like Indian economy is just 3 trillion, in between 3 to 4 trillion. Chinese economy is like 12 trillion. Okay, so that is a huge difference between Indian economy and the Chinese economy with almost the same population. As a result of it, China has a good amount of money, so they are purchasing the coal from the international market at any cost. Okay, they are taking at a higher cost. They are taking the coal from the international market at a higher cost, and they are ready to give the higher cost to the international market. When it comes to Indian companies do not have this much amount of wealth. Do not have this much amount of wealth, as a result of which India can't afford the coal from, or Indian small companies or the medium companies cannot afford the coal from the international market at such a high cost. Their margins will be hit, their profits will be hit. Actually, they might be in the losses as well. And many of the many of the power companies are also not working. Power centers are not working because the coal has kind of finished, and they said we do not have the coal anymore, and how come we will basically work when we do not have the coal. This is the kind of situation which is happening in India. Now when it comes to China have good money. They are purchasing from the international market. At the same time, they are doing the load shedding in the areas. Many of the areas in China, the light is going continuously and light is not coming in that area, for some days actually, and load shedding is happening frequently in many parts of the China. So that is something which is the Chinese thing, but they have a good amount of money. So in the back end, they are also purchasing a good amount of coal from different countries at a higher cost, and they're trying to comply with the demand. Okay, even the European countries are also facing this particular issue. Like a country like Germany is also facing this particular issue, and might face and many other countries might face in the future as well. Okay, so many countries are facing, and many countries are facing the issue because of the coal crisis. How this particular coal shortage will hamper many other industries. So coal industry is definitely hit by this particular thing. Coal companies are definitely hit because of this particular shortage of coal. At the same time, coal is the raw material for the steel industry. So if the coal price increases, the steel price will also increase. The margins will be less, and as a result of it, steel industry will also be hit by that. At the same time, the automobile sector needs steel, so automobile sector will also be hit. So in that way, many of the other sectors which are dependent on the steel industry will also be hit. So this is a complete kind of a chain which is working, and because of this coal shortage, not just electricity of the country but many of the industries might also face the issue, because the coal price has increased in the international market a lot, and now this thing is not kind of addressed much or not talked about much. Obviously it is talked on many other YouTube channels. It is also talked about in news, but in a mainstream media you might not find this particular news. But this is the reality, and it will happen, and you will see the issue, you will see the impact of this in some days or in some months. The shortage of the coal is so much. We are in the ideal worst situation, to be honest. Okay, we are in an ideal worst situation when it comes to the coal shortage. Obviously we are trying to basically comply with the demand by taking the coal from the Australia, by taking the coal which is on the Chinese ship in Australia at a lower cost, but still that is something which is not going to comply with the demand, because demand has increased exponentially and supply is something which is not that much at all. Now what is the solution which government need to take place? So there are some of the solution which I saw in one of the video from The Print. Watch that video, I have given the link in the description. So the solution which was discussed in that particular video of The Print, for the first solution was incentivizing. Okay, to incentivize the coal companies, the government should incentivize the coal companies, give them the money so that they can afford the coal from the international market. This is one of the great solution. The second solution is the systematic load shedding, and I really think that this is something which need to be done, because in India electricity is a political issue. Systematic load shedding should be done, and states should not blame each other for this. Systematic load shedding across the states, in each and every state, should be done for a specific amount of time. That is something which is genuine need, so that we can save the energy and basically save and reduce the consumption of the coal and reduce the consumption of the electricity. So this was all from this particular video. If you like it, subscribe to my channel, share with your friends. The resources for this particular video has been given in the description. Do check it out. Thank you.